Michael Jackson's mystique made him a magnet for wild rumors. Over the years, sensational myths spread about his lifestyle, body, and career. In this countdown, we debunk 10 of the strangest Michael Jackson urban legends, from sleeping in sci-fi contraptions to eccentric obsessions, and reveal the real story behind each. Get ready to separate fact from fiction about the king of pop's most bizarre rumored antics. And yes, we'll finally bust that oxygen chamber story. Number 10. Michael Jackson invented the moonwalk. After Michael's jaw-dropping performance of the moonwalk in 1983, many believed he single-handedly invented the dance move. It seemed like an act of sheer genius that must have sprung from his unique creativity. The truth is, Michael popularized the moonwalk but did not create it from scratch. In fact, he learned the move from street dancers and fellow performers. His sister, LaToya, revealed that a Soul Train dancer, Jeffrey Daniel, taught Michael the backslide, an older dance step later known as the moonwalk. Dancers like Jeffrey Daniel, Castrated, and Cooley Jackson had demonstrated similar moves on television years before. Michael's brilliance was in refining and perfecting the moonwalk on stage, turning a relatively obscure dance trick into a worldwide phenomenon with his own flair. In short, he made it his, but he didn't invent. Number 9. His marriage to Lisa Marie was a publicity stunt. When Michael Jackson suddenly married Lisa Marie Presley, Elvis's daughter, in 1994, skeptics immediately cried foul. The timing, just months after Michael settled a child abuse allegation, led many to assume the marriage was a staged PR move to rehab his image. Rumors swirled that it was a fake marriage, that Michael was gay or asexual and only wed Lisa Marie to appear normal. Tabloids even suggested the two never had a real marital relationship, fueling the myth that Michael simply wasn't interested in women at all.
But it's all about money, though. It's all about the publicity stunt about him being a child molester.
They just seem to be so opposite.
I think he's just doing it just to get the pressure off of him. So, they say he's not gay or whatever he is.
I think he got married because he wanted to do it just for the publicity, to say he has a wife.
Have you heard any Michael Jackson, Lisa Marie Presley jokes?
They got married. I think that's a joke.
But the truth is, by all first-hand accounts, the marriage was real and consummated, not a mere stunt. Lisa Marie Presley herself consistently maintained that she and Michael shared a genuine romantic relationship, including an active sex life. In a 2003 interview, Lisa Marie described their intimacy as very hot, to dispel the rumors of Michael being physically aloof.
I fell into that. I fell in love with him. I did.
In love?
Yes, I fell in love at the time. Now,
Sexual attraction?
I told you, everything I said was the truth.
Sexual attraction.
At the time. Yeah.
Other women who spent time with Michael have also attested that he was interested in women. For example, his Thriller co-star Ola Ray recalled kissing and making out with him. While the marriage ultimately lasted less than 2 years, those close to the couple insist it was based on mutual affection.
Michael Jackson was actually a very good friend of mine. I knew Michael Jackson very well, lived in Trump Tower for a long period of time, would go down to Mar-a-Lago. He actually got married, Lisa Marie Presley, the whole big deal at Mar-a-Lago. They were in the tower. And I will tell you, he was up there 1 week with her and he never came down. So I don't know what was going on, but they got along. A lot of people say, oh, they didn't really. They were up there for a week. They never, ever came down. I said, where the hell is Michael? I've never seen much. But he was a very talented guy, one of the truly most talented people. I knew him very well. I knew the real story of Michael Jackson,
In short, the idea that Michael was completely asexual or that his marriage was fake has been debunked by Lisa Marie's own words.
What do I love the most about him? Everything. He's amazing. I really admire him. I respect him. I admire him. I'm in love with him. And no, we don't sleep in separate bedrooms. Thank you very much. And I love everything about him.
The union may have had publicity benefits, but it was not merely a calculated charade. It was two famous people truly trying to build a life together, however short-lived it turned out. Number 8. Michael Jackson was gay. Over decades, tabloids, critics, and fans speculated that Jackson was secretly gay, or bisexual or asexual. Because he was so guarded, had few public romantic relationships for many years, and didn't conform to typical masculine norms, people read into that and assumed something. There were also rumors of a planned sex change or relationship with men. But here's the truth. Michael addressed this directly in a 1996 interview. When asked point blank if he was gay, he responded,
I'm not gay. He says, don't judge a person unless you have spoken to them one-on-one, which is true.
Over the years, Michael consistently denied these claims, and people who worked closely with him supported that. Some of his longtime collaborators, including his makeup artists and stylists, have said Michael clearly showed interest in women in private. They described moments where he would light up around certain women or openly admire their beauty when the cameras weren't around.
Listen, Michael, when he spent time with Diana Ross with The Wiz, he always had this admiration for Diana Ross when he was young. And I think it got to a point where he really loved her and he really liked her.
Was Michael Jackson gay?
Absolutely not.
You say that with conviction.
He would always, like whenever we were, he would always he called it fishing.
Good fish! Whoa! Whoa! That's a good fish right there. Oh, look at that one right there. Look at her titties.
I was dating Michael back then. I thought I was going to marry Michael.
Well, she knows that.
You know what I want to say? Michael is very much a man, and he was very loving. He was very caring.
know what?
Because he lived on Sutton Place, and he was filming the Wiz movie, and I used to go over and spend the night, and I would do his laundry.
Wow.
And we would go down to the laundry together. So Michael is not what they're all. He's very real, and and I've never spoke about that, but he's just a regular kind of guy. Michael is a great kisser. I've kissed him. He's a great kisser.
Michael also had several public relationships that were well documented. As a teenager, he dated actress Tatum O'Neal, though she later clarified their bond was innocent because Michael was extremely shy back then. In the early 80s, he had a close, emotional relationship with Brooke Shields, who has often spoken about how much Michael cared for her. Shields even said he would call her the love of his life, though she has maintained that their relationship was more emotional than physical. Then, of course, there were his marriages. Michael married Lisa Marie Presley in 1994, and Lisa Marie later confirmed that their relationship was very real and physical.
Your fans had one question they most wanted to ask of you.
Do we have sex?
We have.
She didn't ask.
She didn't ask.
I won't ask. Okay.
You don't know what it was going to be.
Is that what you were going to ask?
Let's play just a minute or
Sorry.
two. Let's play one or two.
We want to know if you've done the thing.
Michael, I know that this is an intimate question, but are you having sex together?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And we have read in the papers that you are expecting a child.
After their split, he married Debbie Rowe, who went on to become the mother of 2 of his children. These relationships alone make it clear that Michael was interested in women and capable of love and intimacy, despite the rumors. Number 7. He was chemically castrated to keep his voice. Perhaps the most grotesque rumor about Michael's body is the claim that his father chemically castrated him as a child to preserve Michael's high-singing voice. This theory, promoted infamously by Conrad Murray, the doctor convicted in Jackson's death, alleges that Joe Jackson had young Michael injected with hormones to delay puberty, supposedly to maintain his youthful soprano range. It's an outrageous allegation that suggests Michael's whole adult life was affected by this forced hormonal treatment, rendering him permanently childlike, and, some insinuate, explaining his lack of facial hair and speaking voice. The truth is, there is no credible evidence that Michael Jackson was chemically castrated. This lurid claim originated from Conrad Murray, whom few consider a reliable source given his own legal troubles and personal agenda. Murray repeated the story in his 2016 tell-all book and a 2018 video, but provided zero proof beyond hearsay. Medical experts have noted that Michael did go through normal male puberty. His voice deepened into a high tenor, and he fathered children later, which would be unlikely if he'd truly been castrated. Michael himself never made such a claim, and it was never corroborated by any Jackson family members or legitimate medical records. In fact, this chemical castration rumor is considered part of the conspiracy theories that surfaced after his death. Sensational, but not grounded in fact. Bottom line, Michael's distinctive voice came from talent and training, and perhaps genetic quirk, not secret injections from his dad. Number 6. He bleached his skin because he didn't want to be black. In the late 1980s, fans and critics were astonished as Michael's skin tone appeared to grow lighter and lighter. Rumors exploded that he was bleaching his skin or undergoing some radical procedure to become white. Many thought Michael was ashamed of being African American and was literally changing his color, a narrative amplified by tabloids claiming he wanted a Nordic appearance. This myth of deliberate skin bleaching became one of the most persistent, with some detractors accusing him of racial self-hatred. The truth is, Michael's changing skin was due to vitiligo, a medical condition, not a desire to alter his race. He publicly revealed in a 1993 Oprah Winfrey interview that he had vitiligo, which causes patchy loss of pigmentation, and he used makeup to even out his skin tone.
Vitiligo. It's a skin disease that affects only about 1 or 2% of the entire population, black and white. And according to Mr. Jackson, that's the reason he now appears so pale.
Skeptics doubted him at the time, but after his death, the official autopsy confirmed the diagnosis of vitiligo on his body. Medical examiners noted a modeling of light and dark skin consistent with the disease, vindicating Jackson's account. Far from bleaching himself, Michael often went to great lengths to conceal the blotches, wearing long sleeves, hats, and yes, sometimes lightening remaining dark patches to match the depigmented areas. His brother Jermaine Jackson described Michael's skin as looking like a white man splashed with coffee due to the vitiligo spots. Moreover, Michael spoke with pride about his heritage.
I'm a Black American. I'm proud to be a Black American. I am proud of my race. I am proud of who I am. I have a lot of pride in who I am and dignity.
In short, the bleached his skin myth is false. It was a serious dermatological condition at work, not an attempt to escape his ethnicity. Number 5. He wanted a white child actor, or a white kid, to play him as a child in commercials. In the early 1990s, tabloids began spreading a shocking story. Michael Jackson wanted a white child actor to play him as a young boy in a commercial, possibly for Pepsi. The narrative was framed as evidence that Michael was ashamed of being black or trying to distance himself from his heritage as his skin became lighter due to vitiligo. This rumor fed perfectly into the media's obsession with his appearance and sparked heated debates about his identity. At the time, many people took it at face value, seeing it as proof that Michael was deliberately erasing his past. It quickly became one of the most talked about controversies of his career and was used as a weapon by tabloids to damage his public image. The truth is very different, and it came straight from Michael himself. The rumor didn't appear out of nowhere. At that time, Michael's changing appearance was a constant target for tabloids. Instead of reporting the truth about his skin condition, vitiligo, which causes loss of pigmentation, sensationalist media outlets created wild narratives to sell papers. The entire controversy was built on pure speculation and prejudice. Michael's team was so angered by this attack on his identity that they even considered legal action against certain outlets spreading the story. The truth is simple. Michael Jackson was proud of his heritage and identity. He never wanted a white child to play him. This myth was nothing more than another tabloid attack designed to tear him down, and Michael himself set the record straight. Number 4. The Clinton inauguration rumor. Did Michael refuse to go? A long-standing rumor claims that Michael Jackson refused to attend President Bill Clinton's inauguration in 1992, either because he didn't want to be there or didn't want to show support for Clinton. Some versions of the story go even further, suggesting Michael was upset about politics or felt it wasn't his scene. This myth gained traction because of how unusual it would have been for a global superstar like Michael to turn down such a historic event. The idea of him snubbing a US president became juicy tabloid material, painting him as distant, difficult, or uninterested in national moments. Over time, the story was repeated so often that many people came to believe Michael deliberately avoided participating in the inauguration festivities. The truth is very different once you look at what actually happened. First, let's fix a key detail. Bill Clinton's first inauguration was in January 1993, not 1992. This matters because many versions of the rumor start with the wrong date, which already shows how messy the story has become over time. Michael Jackson did not refuse to attend. In fact, he performed at the official inaugural celebrations. There's clear video evidence of Michael on stage at the inaugural gala, singing 2 deeply meaningful songs, Heal the World and Gone Too Soon. These performances were part of a series of events leading up to Clinton officially taking office. Michael's presence there wasn't hidden or last minute. It was a major moment that was televised and witnessed by millions. However, there's no credible evidence, no interviews, no official statements, no documented proof that Michael ever said he didn't want to be there. The rumor likely started from miscommunication and was blown out of proportion by gossip outlets hungry for a scandal. Number 3. He paid a witch doctor to curse Steven Spielberg. In 2003, a Vanity Fair article shockingly claimed Michael paid a West African witch doctor $150,000 to curse 25 people on his enemy list, including Hollywood moguls like Steven Spielberg and David Geffen. The ritual allegedly involved Michael bathing in animal blood and the sacrifice of 42 cows, with the witch doctor promising that Jackson's rivals would all die within a week. The sheer bizarreness of this tale, our beloved pop star dabbling in black magic and bloodshed, gave it tabloid life as the ultimate wacko-jacko moment. The truth is, there's no evidence Michael ever performed or paid for such a ritual. The story came from sensationalized reporting and has been widely doubted. The main source was a highly inflammatory Vanity Fair piece by Maureen Orth, and Jackson vehemently denied those claims. Notably, none of the supposed cursed enemies met any untimely ends. 3 years later, Spielberg is still producing fine movies, the Los Angeles Times quipped, pointing out the curse clearly failed. If Michael truly believed a voodoo spell would kill Spielberg in a week and nothing happened, wouldn't he have demanded his money back? It's more plausible that this myth was born from exaggerations and the media's appetite to portray Jackson as bizarre.
Sensationalism seems to sell more than wonderful, positive news, and people rather hear gossip, I think, sometimes, than the truth.
Even the LA Times treated it as an absurd rumor, implying the 42 cows were more likely used for a barbecue than a black magic massacre. In the end, the voodoo curse narrative remains an unverified, sensational story that falls apart under scrutiny. It stands as one of the strangest and most macabre myths in the MJ lore, one which his camp dismissed as ridiculous. Number 2. He slept in a hyperbaric oxygen chamber to live to 150, perhaps the most famous Michael Jackson myth of all. The pop star was said to sleep in a glass hyperbaric oxygen chamber each night, believing it would extend his lifespan. This tale began in the mid-1980s when a photograph hit tabloids showing Michael lying in a futuristic coffin-like chamber. The National Enquirer ran a headline that Jackson slept in it to slow aging, even quoting him as saying he planned to live to at least 150 years old. The image of Michael as a modern-day vampire in an oxygen bed became iconic, reinforcing the nickname Wacko Jacko. People truly believed he spent his nights sealed in a tube of 100% oxygen to avoid growing old. The truth is, this myth was a manufactured PR stunt. Michael himself leaked the chamber photo as a publicity gag, and he never actually used it to sleep. In 1986, while visiting a hospital burn unit he funded, Jackson took a promotional picture lying in the hyperbaric chamber he had donated. He and his manager then fed the photo to tabloids to drum up buzz ahead of his Captain EO sci-fi film launch. The press took the bait, printing the wild story of Michael's anti-aging quest. Years later, Jackson laughed at how absurd it was, calling the oxygen bed rumors stupid and completely made up. In reality, sleeping full-time in such a chamber would be dangerous. Prolonged pure oxygen can cause toxicity. Hyperbaric chambers are medical devices for short-term therapy, and indeed, Michael did eventually acquire one for occasional health treatments at home, but not for overnight sleeping. The president of the company that sold him the chamber confirmed Jackson never slept in it through the night, only using it for an hour or two at a time. In short, the oxygen chamber saga was mythical theater, a single photo op that spun out of control. It succeeded in making headlines, but the immortal Michael routine was just an elaborate prank that the world took far too literally. Number 1. He tried to buy the Elephant Man's bones. Topping our list is a legend as weird as it gets. Michael Jackson allegedly attempted to purchase the remains of Joseph Merrick, the 19th century Elephant Man. In the late 1980s, reports surfaced that Jackson was fascinated by Merrick's deformed skeleton and had bid large sums, up to $1 million, to buy it from a London hospital for his own collection. The tabloids painted a ghoulish picture of Michael wanting to display the Elephant Man's bones at his Neverland ranch, as if they were some macabre trophy. This story was so bizarre and memorable that it became shorthand for Jackson's perceived eccentricity. The truth is, Michael denied ever trying to buy the Elephant Man's bones, calling it another ridiculous story concocted by the media. In a famous 1993 interview with Oprah, he laughed about how absurd it was.
Did you buy the Elephant Man's bones? Were you trying to get them? That's another stupid story. I love the story of the Elephant Man. It reminds me of me a lot. You know, I could relate to it. It made me cry because I saw myself in the story. But no, I never asked for the Elephant Man. Where am I going to put some bones? I don't know. And why would I want a pair of bones? I don't know.
So how did this myth arise? It appears to have been a mix of Jackson's own public fascination and some calculated showmanship. Biographers and even Jackson's mother have suggested that his then-manager, Frank DeLeo, leaked outrageous tales like the Elephant Man and oxygen chamber to the press to cultivate Michael's mystique. Katherine Jackson wrote that if any attempt was made to buy the bones, it might have been in jest, and she wouldn't have let him in the house with them anyway. Interestingly, contemporaneous reports did claim Jackson's representatives inquired. A 1987 Reuters piece noted London Hospital firmly refused a previous offer, and then a $1 million bid for Merrick's remains. It's possible Michael's team did make informal overtures, perhaps as a publicity stunt, but nothing ever came of it. Michael himself turned the episode into art. His 1989 Leave Me Alone music video features him dancing with a cartoon Elephant Man skeleton, poking fun at the absurdity of the press rumors. In the end, the bones stayed in the museum, and the tale remains an urban legend emblematic of how far-fetched the Michael Jackson myths could get, even though he flat out said it never happened. Michael Jackson's larger-than-life persona generated larger-than-life myths. We've seen how some rumors sprang from nuggets of truth or deliberate stunts, while others were outright fabrications. In the end, these wild tales, from oxygen chambers to Elephant Man bones, say as much about the media's imagination as they do about Michael himself. By debunking them, we get a clearer picture of the man behind the myth, a brilliant artist who was often more normal and playful than the tabloids claimed. As Michael sang, just because you read it in a magazine or see it on the TV screen, don't make it factual. Now you know the real story behind the strangest stories about him.